This is a Marvel Legends Onslaught Build-A-Figure review. Also check out Comic Book Illuminati and Outright Geekery. It's in the description. Welcome. This is a review on Red Onslaught. He's a Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure, and let's check it out. As you could see here, this is comprised of 7 pieces. The head, the upper body here, the 2 arms, the 2 legs, and the last piece right here is this back fin type of thing. He is actually called Red Onslaught, even though the Marvel Legends wave calls him Onslaught. And there is going to be an Onslaught head in the X-Men wave. And here's a size comparison before we get to the review. We'll say this is Captain America. This is Sharon Carter. You could tell it's a pretty good size because in the comics the character is big, and I think it is finally well represented. If you want to take a look at Red Onslaught, check this picture out from the comic books. And right away, I just got to tell you, as a comic fan, Onslaught to finally get an action figure in Phase 1. It's about time. Toy Biz made one that was part of their original wave, but that was the Phase 2 Onslaught, more like a crab. And here's a picture of it. I wasn't a fan of that figure. I thought it was a bit too small, and I just didn't like that version of the character. And what you see here is actually the Red Skull when he took basically Professor Xavier's brain, kind of merged with it and became this character called Red Onslaught. And before I get to really checking out the details of the figure, I just want to get a close-up. The articulation here is pretty good. I'll get to that. But just check this out. It's a really good sculpt. Hasbro did a good job here. I'm just going to remove this here, just so you could get a look at the sculpt in the back. They put some, hopefully it's going to show up here, but they put some shading here, some nice little detailing. The hands, pretty claw-like. Actually, in the comics, especially the original Onslaught, the hands were red, and just the tips were colored, but it's just all one hand color here. It's a little change I noticed. And this little thing wasn't in the original Onslaught. This little design piece was added. Honestly, I'm not too much of a fan of the Red Skull being Onslaught. I'd rather Onslaught just be the real Onslaught. And when the X-Men wave appears, it's going to have the headpiece to make the proper version. And that's the one I'm probably going to have on my display. Not this Red Skull version. I'm going to put this back. See how it goes here. When you look at this figure, I have to admit Hasbro has definitely improved their Build-A-Figures in the last couple of waves. Alright, let's get to the articulation of this figure and check it out. Onslaught, or Red Skull version, has a ball-hinged head. It's actually pretty tough to get on properly because the whole back piece here gets in the way. These move, these little shoulder pieces, but honestly they really do hamper the articulation because you could only reach about here, but if you took it off, you see, when you put this on, it pretty much hampers the articulation. But, you know, this is the proper form, so what could you do? He has ball-hinged shoulders and swivel biceps, which is really nice. And again, very limited upper mobility because of that. The shoulder pieces. There's one ball jointed elbow piece here. Just one, not double. This here is pretty nice. You see this plastic? If you check out the design, it's a separate piece. And the wrist is ball jointed. And you can spin it around. But there is no like finger articulation here. But it's pretty good. Just the design here. Well made. The upper body here has a pivot torso. Looks ball hinged. No waist articulation, so nothing here. You got ball hinged hips and swivel thighs. This is where you attach the leg pieces there. The knees, check that out. You got double pivot knees on the articulation. But what's really nice is this, like the knee guard covers it up. So having those double knees, and I like that, how the sculpt just covers the detail. And you got the ball hinged ankles over here. And check that out, so it's easier to pose. I don't think this figure was really meant to get in so many dynamic poses. He's like one of those characters that basically stands there, puts a good few poses with the hands, and that's about it. Intimidating looking character. The size is just about right. Okay, overall, if you were to ask, Rob, what do you think of Onslaught? Should you get this action figure if you're a Marvel Legends collector, or if you should skip it? And in my view, if you're even just a fan of the X-Men, or just want another villain and another character in your lineup, it's 7 pieces to build. It's about $20 a figure, give or take. So it's quite a bit of money to get these Build-A-Figures. But Red Onslaught, and they will have the Onslaught proper head attachment in the next wave of X-Men. I highly recommend it. I'm just a fan of the character. The visual design look I think is dynamic. I never was too much of a fan of the Phase 2 look. This is just a fantastic figure. I think it's just really well made. And I do want the proper Onslaught though. That's the only thing personally that when I get that one, I'm gonna change the head, put the proper version of the character. When all is said and done, I do recommend the figure. It's fantastic either way. And I hope you subscribe, check out this channel, more videos, and I'll talk to you later.